We will start the discussion with discussing about definitions like hazard. Hazard means a condition, service, or substance that can directly cause injury to people or damage to property. Risk means a measure of potential loss that considers both magnitude of a loss and its likelihood of occurring. Impact, a measure of magnitude of a loss, severity, consequence, and seriousness. And probability, likelihood that a specific event or outcome will have an identified effect, often expressed as high, moderate, or low, or as a percentage. And frequency, a measure of rate of occurrence of an event, expressed as number of occurrences of event in a given time period or potential number of trials. Whereas risk assessment means process used to identify, quantify, or rank risk. Risk analysis is systematic use of available information to determine how often specified events may occur and magnitude of their consequences. Residual risk, level of risk remaining after all risk control measures have been implemented. Acceptable risk means level of risk deemed acceptable to a group of people based on industry practices, previous loss experience, and other existing risks. Risk controls measures that reduce or control risks that have been identified through risk assessment. What type of risk controller terminate an informed decision to either continue an activity or to not initiate it. This is sometimes called risk avoidance. 3. Use various loss control tools and techniques to minimize chances of loss occurring and or magnitude of consequences if it does occur. Tolerate, if a risk cannot be eliminated and reduction measures have been optimally applied, then organization must decide how much of residual threat it will retain and how to do it. Whereas transfer means financial responsibility or burden for a loss can be shared with responsible third parties through leases, partnership, contract, hold harmless agreement, and insurance. There is a definition about hazard, any substance that jumps out of a container when something goes wrong and hurt or harm that things it touches. So you are seeing that these drums, if they are not disturbed and these chemicals are inside, then they are not hazardous. As soon as they are disturbed, they are touched and it's coming out from the drum and then it is hitting someone, then it's hazardous. So when to use PRA, time to begin risk assessment is during conceptual phase or stage of a new facility or proposed change, as well as ongoing risk assessment during life cycle. It is a prerequisite to introducing changes to work environment, physical, procedural, or organizational. It is also an essential component of standard work practices to develop an awareness of job hazard, equipment failure mode, and things that could go wrong even in a stable operating environment. Typical application for risk assessment include pre-work job or task, risk assessment as an integral part of daily activities, safety and probability reviews for all capital and expense projects to ensure that all significant design considerations have been satisfied, hazard identification and analysis to accompany development and execution of safe operating procedures, risk and hazard reviews of existing instructions and work practices for critical tests to determine their adequacy. Pre-startup safety reviews to ensure that facilities and conditions are suitable for operation, and risk assessment of an operation to ensure current or proposed conditions do not compromise safety, reliability, industrial hygiene, commodity balance, fire protection, and environmental consideration. Risk assessment of all planned changes to facilities, procedures, system, organization, etc. also need to look at.